Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. Welcome to another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. That's my protein tea. Welcome. I am making a clickbait statement here. Your CEO is invisible. That's why you're losing the $2 million deal. And this is based on an article I read in Inc. magazine where they actually went through 200 PR release requests, media requests to see what kind of stories and what kind of content was being asked for by the media. And there's a huge correlation between what journalists are looking for and what actual PR experts are putting out because they still inform each other. So 84% of journalists say that PR stories still inform their content. So if your CEO is invisible, meaning invisible on platforms like LinkedIn and social media, that also translates to PR. So let me take you through all the things that they found in, looking at these new 2026 Q1 requests from the media, how the old way of doing PR is dead and how the new way of making your CEO and yourself, if you're the CEO, visible is working. No more press release bombing. I shouldn't say that word because of, what's happening right now in the news, but journalists are still getting tons of generic company announcements and they're drowning in pitches. And that's something that they don't want. What they want instead is they want real stories with data and insights and expertise and something that's newsworthy. So for example, the old way, when I used to work in, marketing and when we used to give briefs to PR agencies who would then release PR statements, it would be around this new product is coming, or the title would be, company X launches revolutionary new AI platform. Now, the new way in 2026, what PR or what journalists are looking for, what you should tell your PR company to do, or if you're doing your own PR, this is how you should go to release a news item to them is, for example, pharma clinical trials are missing 40% women participants, how one company is slashing that by 8% in 18 months. So it's all about that industry, what the pain point they're solving, and how, first of all, the problem for the industry is, and then how the company is related to that, solution. So that's just one example. Number two way that CEOs can become more visible is 70% of buyers feel more connected when they actually see the CEO on social media. And that goes for PR as well. So instead of, again, generic posts about the company, things that are approved by the legal department or that are just, approved by the PR spokesperson, the CEO themselves have to be visible. And they have to bring forth expertise, an actual stance, even if it's controversial, even better, a stake in the ground, opinion, some advice or training. Instead of that corporate approved PR person, you want the CEO to be standing there. And so your CEO should be on LinkedIn doing stuff like this, should be speaking at events, should be wherever their industry is and their clients are and their target is, that's where they should be, and that's where PR follows. Which brings me to my next way to get CEO visibility in 2026 through PR is the super niche PR. This dovetails perfectly with everything that I always teach, which is around stop being generic, you have to be super niche. So the super niche PR goes against mass media, spray and pray, as I like to call it. So no more Forbes or TechCrunch, which are like the generic stuff, but you need to go after your own industry publications. You need to go after your industry podcasts, your industry LinkedIn groups. You need to go to, and do live streams right inside of their groups. You need to have LinkedIn newsletters that directly target that industry, and guest posts that are shared on the stream for a LinkedIn influencer in your industry. Again, the more super niche you are about which industry you target and what specific pain point that you solve, the more credible you will be. And so no more generic spray and pray. It has to be targeted. So that's the best kind of visibility for your CEO. The next thing that's changing in CEO visibility for PR in 2026 is the thought leadership versus product pitch. So if you haven't understood that, yet, you need to write about trends and what you're seeing, insights and the pain and your solution to the pain, and how you can give away the best insights that you've come by through this expertise that you have. And don't be shy to be a contrarian. Put your stake in the ground, say something different than what everybody is saying. And nobody cares about flashy new products or new launches or anything. It has to do with what's in it for them, what's in it for the target group, and how does it change the playing ground. That's what PR is interested in, just like everybody else. And lastly, this I love, the community engagement aspect is so huge in PR. It's the new press release is what they're calling it. So instead of cranking out your regular press releases and sending it and posting it to, different news outlets, what you need to do is you need to be in LinkedIn industry groups that I talked about. Substack is huge. People are monetizing it like crazy. Slack, again, you could put your conversation in there. Reddit, huge, because there is interaction. There's a community there. There's already existing database of people in your industry that are already reading opinions and articles and information about the subject matter. And then in these communities, answer questions, share insights, make comments. I have a client who just gets clients from, commenting 15 minutes a day on LinkedIn in their industry comments. And every time somebody posts something, he makes a comment, or every time he posts something, they make a comment, and he engages with them, and he gets meetings from taking them into his inbox and being able to message directly through there. So communities still inform journalists. They're looking at all these posts and they're looking at all these communities to inform their stories. So these are the trends that will get your CEO visible. And that's who the $2 million deals, the companies that are giving the $2 million deals, are looking for, are proven industry experts who are talking about the pain in a rinse and repeat way. They're multi-directional. They're in every different outlet that touches that actual industry buyer. So you need to get into their world. In fact, I have a metaphor called the sun, where I put the actual buyer of your services in that industry in the middle of the sun. And then we look at what his ears and his eyes, and I say he, but it could be she, see and touch. And so you look at what, podcasts and media they're consuming, what associations and organizations they belong to, that the meetings that they're attending, what trade shows and conferences are they at, what other industries do they interact with that you could get introductions through to the middle of the sun, and what are your competitors doing that you could collaborate with that are a little bit different than you, or in different regions that you could collaborate to meet the middle of the sun. So it all happens in front of their ears and eyes, and you need to hit them 7 to 12 times in the same sun before they'll buy from you. So your CEO has to be visible for them to gain the trust, gain the mileage, the ears and eyes mileage, to be able to hit the 7 to 12, so that you are no longer losing $2 million deals. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.